So, who am I? Well, that's a question I ask myself a lot, but there's been quite a few people who've asked me to share a little bit more about my past or to elaborate on some of the things that I've said on this channel in regards to my life. I wanted to make a video to address some of the questions and even some of the confusion as to who this Polar Warrior guy is. I'm going to talk about the start of the channel, some of my relationship history, additional health struggles that I have, and some of the notable things that I've done in my life. So I hope you enjoy. I honestly had no idea what to expect when I first started this channel. All I knew was that I wanted to help others who suffered from this nasty illness we affectionately call bipolar disorder. I was really nervous at first to put myself out there like this, especially when dealing with a topic as delicate as mental illness. So if you've seen my very first couple of videos, you probably noticed that I used my childhood nickname of Trey instead of my real name. My name spelled backwards is Trey Bohr, so a lot of people called me Trey when I was growing up. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use my real name at first out of privacy concerns, but right away I had a few friends and family members who suggested that I use my real name, and this was for a couple of reasons. One, and most importantly, was to be authentic, which has always been very important to me. And the second reason was just in case the channel became something. I'd like to eventually write a book someday, and I don't want to explain to thousands of people why my name is different on publications. Another quick thing that I wanted to address that caused some confusion is when I talk about my relationship. People have asked why I say wife in some videos and partner in others. I was married and in a relationship for 10 years. The relationship did end, and it wasn't because of bipolar disorder specifically. The relationship was hard on her for sure, but we made a lot of progress with my illness. The relationship actually ended due to some poor choices that my wife made that affected trust in the relationship. And out of respect for her as a person, and because it doesn't really relate to what I talk to specifically on my channel, it's just not something that I discuss openly. I've been in a wonderful relationship now for over 3 years, and it's been the most honest, healthy, and mature relationship experience that I've ever had. In fact, I've grown more as a person in the last 3 years than I did in the 10 years that I was married. Being with the right person when you have bipolar disorder makes all the difference, as many of you probably know. Anyways, I like the word partner more than girlfriend, boyfriend, boo, or whatever, because it symbolizes a true partnership, which is absolutely important for those with bipolar disorder. A partnership involves two people working together as partners and not just as girlfriend or boyfriend. That sounds so separate. I really do try to choose my words very carefully on this channel for a lot of reasons. And that being said, in my first few videos, I remember that I used to say I am bipolar instead of I have bipolar. I know that's neither here nor there for most people, but the way we use words really makes a big difference. A few people actually pointed this out, and I love the philosophy behind not defining ourselves with the illness. Saying I am bipolar is more like an identity. We're always a person first and happen to have bipolar disorder second. And that's really important. So thank you to all of those who have taken the time to teach me something. So now I'd like to share a little bit more about my health challenges. Some of you might have noticed that I haven't been uploading every week like when I first started the channel, or that I was sweating in a couple of my recent videos. In addition to struggling with rapid cycling type 1 bipolar disorder, I have extreme chronic fatigue or chronic illness from being very sick for a period of years. It's a rare condition, and I'm healthy on paper, as they say, but I can get sick for literally weeks from just cleaning my house too much. Having flu-like symptoms just as often as the bipolar symptoms adds a whole new level to my challenges. They go hand in hand because when I get manic and do too much, I get violently ill. When I get depressed and I don't take care of myself, I get sick. It's a horrible cycle, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But optimistically speaking, it's caused me to become a lot more aware of my symptoms and to take extremely good self-care. If I didn't get sick, I probably would have never grown as much as I had. I guess they say scar tissue is stronger than regular skin, right? Well, in addition to that, I also have the back of a 50-year-old trucker, bulging and degenerative discs, bone spurs, and a small fluid-filled sac that puts pressure against my spinal cord. Needless to say, there isn't a whole lot of time where I actually feel great, even with certain types of mania. I'm sure there's so many people out there much worse off than I am, so this isn't a sob story by any means. I just want to share some of the daily struggles that I deal with in addition to bipolar disorder. Anyways, so now let's get to some more positive or fun stuff about my life. I'm 38, I was born in December, and I'm a California kid. Grew up in a small town working on ranches, and I've been on some amazing adventures over the years. Mania can do that. As strange as it sounds, I actually wanted to work for the CIA from about 6th grade all the way through high school. I even applied for their undergraduate scholar program when I was a junior in high school. And my interests during my youth just revolved around the dream of being James Bond or something, which concerned my parents, to say the least. I became fluent in Spanish and studied everything I could get my hands on that I thought would help me become a 007. I started taking administration of justice and psychology classes in college, while at the same time toying with the idea of going in the military route. And I'm so glad now that I didn't end up going in that direction in general. I probably would be just like bipolar agent Carrie Matheson on the show Homeland, if you've seen that. Anyways, I started studying martial arts when I was 11 and opened up my first karate school when I was 20. If anyone is watching this video and has a bipolar child or looking for a life-changing outlet, I can't recommend the martial arts enough. I was also going to cosmetology school at the time after someone told me how much male stylists make. And I do not mean that in a sexist way at all. It's just the strange nature of that industry. And I know that's quite the contrast, right? A stylist by day and ninja by night or something. Anyways, my karate school grew quickly, and I found it a lot more rewarding to teach karate than putting rollers in people's hair or the smell of perms. So yes, I'm a beauty school dropout, and to each their own, but hair just wasn't the right career for me. So I went on to run chains of karate schools for years all over California. I did it competitively, and that's where a lot of the damage to my back probably came from. Teaching karate is also where I found that teaching nature, or get that teaching nature from. Being a teacher of anything is a true gift, and especially if you use it to better people's lives. It's always just been in my nature to help others, and being able to teach has helped me a lot with presenting information on my YouTube channel. I've also done marketing for large casinos, chains of fitness clubs, when I was younger, some odd-end jobs like being a security supervisor of a mall. Yes, I was a mall cop. Right now I work in the aviation industry because flying has always been a dream of mine. It's a very stressful job, honestly, and I really hope to focus more on this channel as it continues to grow. I'd love to make full-time videos or possibly documentaries about bipolar disorder, write a book or travel and interview experts in the field, things like that. Right now, this channel is a huge labor of love that takes up most of my free time, but my heart's really invested in it. Moving on, I produced and recorded some music in the early 2000s that got radio play in California, which was super cool. I actually cried the first time I heard my song on the radio. That's another industry that I'm glad I didn't get lost in. It's a lot more fun to make music for the love of it than to deal with the dark underbelly of the music industry. When I'm not working or sick, I enjoy picking locks, which is another strange hobby, but it keeps my hands and mind really busy with my metal puzzles, as I call them. I have 2 awesome cats, and I love spending every moment I can with my partner and a very select few friends. I meditate a lot. I love Eastern philosophy and culture, and I spend a substantial amount of time researching information for this channel. Aside from telling you what I eat for breakfast or what kind of shampoo I use, I think I've covered a lot about my life in this video. I know it isn't specifically a bipolar warrior video, but for those of you who've been interested in knowing more about my life or where I've come from, I hope this gives you a little more insight into what makes me, me. Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to this point in the video. It's extremely rare that I'll break away from staying on topic with this channel, so I hope you enjoyed something a little different, and I wish all of you a very peaceful week of wellness. There's lots more videos to come on Polar Warriors, so hopefully we'll see you here again soon. Take care.